Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I hope you are excited for this session. Completely okay. I'll be sharing you the slides. I'll be explaining you what generative AI exactly is, and also will be giving you a lot of insights. So today you'll be taking home what are the takeaways if you ask me. So you'll be taking home lot of knowledge today in these 2 hours. Okay. First of all, I highly appreciate you for giving your 2 hours of your precious hours, and I will make sure that you go back taking lot of knowledge about generative AI in this complete webinar. Okay, so let us start with the webinar today. So I guess my screen sharing is on, everything is fine. Can anyone give me a chat? Okay, so can anyone tell me whether my screen sharing everything is working fine? Audio quality, voice quality, you just have to type yes, that's it. Okay, awesome. ठीक. Okay, so let me just start with the session. Okay. First, let us understand what generative AI is. Okay. So, what is the history of generative AI? What is the roadmap if you want to excel your future in generative AI? And how exactly you can master generative AI is what I'm going to deliver in this complete 2 hours of webinar. Okay. So, generative AI begins something like, okay, right now you have a data, you have used the data to train a model. Imagine a model to be a box, magic box, where you're putting some data, you're training a model, okay, and you're asking the same model to generate some new content for you. Okay, so generative AI basically is nothing but generative itself tells me what it is going to generate something for you. Okay, it may be a text, it may be a audio, it may be a video, it may be anything as such. Okay, and you are using the power of AI. Okay, so combiningly, generative AI is nothing but you are generating the new content. Okay, so based on the past historical data. So this is what the definition of generative AI is in a simple words. Okay, so nothing but you imagine you have a magic box where you have trained that magic box, and now magic box is able to generate the content for you. So let me just walk you out with a brief history of how exactly generative AI started. Okay, generative AI is nothing but it's not a new topic anymore. Its research began in 1950s onwards. Okay, so first, let me tell you what all the agendas for today's 2 hours webinar will be. First, I'm going to explain you the history of LLMs, like how this AI things suddenly emerged. Then I'll teach you the roadmap of it. Okay. So if you want to excel into generative AI, and I'll tell you why you want to excel, why you should go for generative AI in today's era. Okay, but especially in the AI world. Then I will also teach you as a giveaway. I'll be teaching you how to build your own custom bot with just 10 lines of code. That's it. Okay, using the power of AI. So first, as I explained you, okay, what generative AI is nothing but it is nothing but generating some new content for you. Simple as that. Okay. So how it is able to generate new content? It is able to understand the patterns. It learns from the vast data set. When generative AI is not a small thing. Okay, if I want a model, or if I want a baby, I'll take a baby example. Baby initially will not know anything. Okay, he will learn step by step during his growth progress. So during the growth progress, he encounters many other things, many others data in his life. So by visualizing data, by sensing the data, by feeling the data, okay, he's able to learn by its own, and he can guess what it is ahead. Okay, suppose if I want to train a baby to predict, or to classify whether it is a cat or a dog. So initially I have to feed certain amount of data to that baby. Okay, then baby will, they will, search for the features, that is called as feature selection is what we say, or feature extraction is what we say. Okay, here it is called as pattern learning. So baby will understand that a cat is small in size, dog has little bit huge body when compared to cat. Okay, cat has little bit of, eyes are little different. Okay, face is little small, and dog's face is little bit spotted in the front. Okay, so he will, the baby will try to understand the patterns, that unique patterns, okay, that is required for a model or a baby to get trained. So once the pattern is recognized, what it does, it will start to classify whether a given entity is a cat or a dog. Okay, this is how exactly deep learning works also. So generative AI also follows the same engine. Okay, generative AI and deep learning are not two different concepts anymore. Okay, this is just an advancement of AI. Okay, where the backbones are still machine learning, backbones are still deep learning, backbones are still natural language processing itself. Okay, architecture has been changed. So I will explain you like what is the architecture also that happened. So obviously, yes, when it comes to generative AI, okay, you are using it in a day-to-day activity nowadays. Okay, you have custom GPTs, you are using chat GPTs every day, you are using Gemini, it may be you are using Claude. Okay, these are all generative AI models. Okay, these models knows to generate new content for you. Okay, so this is what a definition of generative AI was. Okay, now coming to the history part, okay, let me just tell you, walk you out like how exactly things started. Okay, I don't want to, I usually don't present using slides and all. I have a habit of writing it on the board and explain you because I understand that grabs more attention. So I will be making use of both slide as well as I'll be making use of whiteboard. I'll tell you how exactly Chat GPT also works. Okay, first let me walk through the history. Okay, so let us understand the history behind GenAI. Okay, history behind GenAI. Okay, the first one. Okay, let us walk through 1950s. See, AI, you must be hearing it now, but AI research started way back in 1950s onwards, where there was something called as rule-based learning. Okay, there was something called as rule-based learning. It was okay. So in rule-based learning, now we used to only use if else. Okay, if this condition is true, execute this code. If this condition is false, execute that code. So that was something called as rule-based learning. Okay, after 1950s, in the 1960s area, algorithms started to develop. Okay, so you must have heard of, random forest decision trees. Okay, these algorithms which are usually applied in the machine learning part. So these algorithms started developing in 1960s onwards. It's nothing like it now you are reading it in the textbooks now, but its research began in 1960s itself. Okay, we started with the algorithms here. Okay, random forest decision trees, etc. Okay, so these algorithms started to develop. Okay, then comes to an area of 1970s onwards. Okay, 1970s, basically it is called as, little bit of golden area when it comes to IT field. Okay, I'll just note down 1970s. Okay, here now applied machine learning, and during 1970 to 80, okay, deep learning models such as artificial neural networks research started to develop. Research I'm talking about. Okay, because decision tree, random forests were not giving accurate result when it came to prediction of huge models, huge data. Okay, so there was a need to develop something advancement in the field of AI, where we could understand how humans could think, and understand how humans could reason, and understand how humans could exactly study and predict something. So with that philosophy, the deep learning era was started. Okay, so there came something called as back propagation. Okay, you must be knowing this. So this is a term. Back propagation is nothing but it's a term in a neural network where automatically the weights and biases get updated. Okay, you don't have to worry about all those things. Okay, just I'm just walking through the history of generative AI. Okay, back propagation. Then they develop something called as RNN. Okay, recurrent neural network. Okay, so this research began. Okay, I don't want to bore you by talking bit of too much of technical on this. Okay, this research began during 1970s, 1980s. Then they felt even these models were not able to give the good prediction result. Good results were not being promised through this model. So later during 1990s, they developed boosting algorithms. Okay, see when it comes to boosting now, you must know there is a bagging technique, okay, and boosting technique. So basically, ADA boosts and all those algorithms were developed. Basically, it makes use of existing algorithm only, and it tries to bag it or boost it using weak models and strong models. Okay, that comes in the technical part of machine learning. You don't have to worry much about it in today's webinar. You just have to understand like it started from 1950s, then 1960s algorithms started to develop. 1970s ANN research began. Okay, then recurrent neural network. Okay, like see, deep learning is basically how human mind works. That's it. Okay, how human mind learns to reason things or learns to remember things and learns to give the output. In a similar fashion, deep learning was developed. Then in 1990s, boosting algorithms were developed. Okay, so any issue until here? Is everything fine? Please comment me. Okay, okay. What about students? Is everything fine? Is it going out from your head? Okay, thank you. Okay, feeling interested or boring? Feeling interesting or boring? You can tell me. Okay, thank you. ठीक है. So now coming to present, that is 2000s. Okay, 2000 is called as deep learning era. Deep learning era. Okay, so 2000 is called as deep learning era. Okay, where 2000 till 2000 today at present, okay, we are using deep learning models a lot. Okay, there was a time where we used to use machine learning a lot. Now that since the generative AI is at the corner, okay, we are not talking much about much about machine learning and all. Okay, so 2000s was the time when deep learning era generally started. So this research was going on in 2000s onwards. Okay, it started to get recognized in the market. Okay, then suddenly I'll go to 2022. Okay, here now CNN was developed, convolution neural network. Okay, if you want to take notes, you can please go ahead and take notes. Okay, it will be helpful for your exams as well as if you are into AI ML especially, or if you are into computer science background, and if you want to upskill into AI and all, definitely you can take a note of it, or you can take a screenshot of whatever I write. Okay, at the end of the day, I'll be giving you the PPT also, which I have prepared. Okay, you can just watch through the PPT for the quick revision as well. Okay, coming to 2012, okay, CNN convolution neural were developed. Okay, here now GPU concepts were there. Okay, okay. Like before and all CPUs, they used to train models on CPUs. Then suddenly after 2012, when infrastructure started becoming sophisticated, GPUs were used. Okay, so I'll use the different thing now. Seventh. Okay, now 2014 was the time where GAN was developed. Okay, GAN stands for generative adversarial neural network. Okay, basically nothing but generation of image, generating images. Okay, you must have known about deep fake. Okay, using somebody's photos. Okay, generating fake currencies, generating many new images as such. Okay, that That is because of GAN algorithms. Okay, GAN algorithms was developed in 2014, and even today we are using GAN algorithms, sophisticated GAN algorithms. We have style GAN 3. Okay, we have pix to pix. We have DC scan. Okay, many good algorithms are there in the market. Okay, you must have heard about Google's latest image generation model, Nano Banana. Okay, architecture remains GAN algorithm itself. Okay, it is an advancement of the GAN algorithms what you're seeing in today. Okay, ImageNet was the first pre-trained model which was developed using GAN algorithm. Okay, you have some concept in GAN algorithm. Okay, that is, we can keep the topic for some other day. Okay, you have something called as generator and discriminator. Okay, so generator and discriminator concepts are there. You don't have to understand. Basically, when I talk about GAN, okay, you should know that it is a image generation model. Simple as that. It can generate new synthetic images. Okay, why am I calling it synthetic? Because these are the image which doesn't even exist. Okay, now coming to eighth. Okay, now, okay, since we were using deep learning was around the corner in 2016s and all. Okay, Google were doing research on AI basically. Okay, Google were doing research on AI. So to generate image, to train the image, they were using classic CNN models. Okay, CNN architecture was being used. Okay, I guess you know this. They draw something like this neural network. Okay, and later they do the prediction and all, right? So until 2017, okay, every other companies who were doing research on generative AI or research on deep learning and all, they were using this traditional model architecture. Okay, neural network architecture. But 2017 was the time where it shocked the world. Okay, Google released a paper called as Attention All You Need, where this complete paper revolutionized GPTs. Okay, so basically, this paper was responsible to pronounce. Okay, this paper basically, attention all you need. This paper was responsible to pronounce a architecture. Okay, responsible to pronounce an architecture called as transformers. So initially, when we were using initially, even today, you guys must be using CNN and all, right? Okay, so CNN had certain kind of limitations. Okay, neural network had certain kind of limitations. Okay, Google came up with a different architecture called as transformers. Okay, where it has two important components, that is encoder and decoder. Okay, it has different components called as encoder and decoder. Okay, this architecture changed everything. Okay, this architecture was able to predict the next word. I'll explain you how transformer works and all, and how GPTs works. And tomorrow, if you want to build your own GPT, okay, if you want to build Indian version AI, okay, I will also tell you how you can exactly build and what are the limitations as Indians we have. Okay, in 2017, this was the time where this attention all you need was published in the in the website. And here the architecture was pronounced to train a model, to do the prediction, to how can we build AI kind of model. Okay, so this paper had all everything that was required to produce a new model. Okay, I'm going little bit technical here. Okay, so after this, now suddenly OpenAI, okay, OpenAI, ChatGPT company OpenAI, okay, they were also doing research on AI and all. Suddenly OpenAI, okay, in 2019 shocked the world, shocked with GPTs. Okay, so basically this paper helped OpenAI also to build a AI kind of a model. Okay, which does the prediction like how we are using today, right? So first GPT, okay, GPTs were released in 2019. Then Google got shocked. Okay, Google was also doing research. Then in 2020, Google released something called as BERT. Okay, so Gemini was later replaced with BERT, but BERT was first released in 2020. Okay, so basically this architecture helped everyone to understand how exactly transformer works. Okay, how exactly you can generate new content from the previous ones. Okay, so this was a brief history. Then later on advancement in other models started coming. Okay, in 2022 GPT's 3, then 3.5, 2024 they released GPT 4, 2025 today we are using GPT 5. Okay, so every year they are doing enhancement, enhancement, enhancement. Okay, so this attention all you need paper, this was very important for them to have a AI kind of model today. Okay, or what you call as LLM, okay, large language model. So every model whatever you see, it may be Anthropic Cloud, it may be Grok, okay, whatever AI LLM model you are hearing are all following the transformer architecture. Okay, they are not following CNN. Okay, they are not following any kind of decision tree, random forest. Okay, it was for the small kind of model. Okay, it is not a generative model, it is a descriptive model is what we say. Okay, so when it comes to models also, okay, little more information I would like to give. When I talk about models, there are basically two important types. One is descriptive model, another is generative model. Okay, so descriptive model, okay, it is only used for specific data, like you guys use it for a final year project, right? For specific data where you have only one CSV file. Okay, you use LSTM, you use CNN, you use decision tree. Okay, so these are called as exactly descriptive model what you're using, and it is outdated. Okay, nobody like using descriptive models as such. Now since we are into completely AI era, okay, the time has gone. Okay, we even a mindset we have to shift it towards generative models. Okay, here not the data set is less in the specific, because we focus on specific data set and we build a prediction model, or we build a forecasting model, or we build a classification model using these kind of algorithms. Okay, so when it comes to generative model, here we require huge data. See, generative models doesn't work without huge data. Okay, in order to have a generative model, you need to have huge data. Okay, you need to process this huge data. To process huge data, you need very good computation power, such as GPUs. Okay, GPUs, TPUs. Okay, so you cannot train a model in a CPU. It will take a lot of time. Okay, so for example, it may be image generation. So image to image, it may be image to text, text to image. Okay, so basically these are called as generative models where you require huge data processing is there. And you can, for example, you if you want to quote what generative models are, image to image. Okay, you can take Nano Banana. Okay, it is text to image. Basically image to audio is also there, image to video is also there, like ChatGPT, Sora, many models are there out there in the market. Okay, so this is the main important things that you have to understand. This evolved before 2000s. Okay, as I explained you, these algorithms, this came after 2000s. After, okay, so here now many companies, even in today's market, okay, many companies, it may be Google, Apple, Amazon, they're spending billions of amount in AI today. Okay, that's why there is a huge buzz going in the market about AI. Everybody are integrating AI, and they are integrating these generative models. Okay, descriptive models are no longer being used. It is only used for just a prototyping for some specific purpose. That's it. Now people in the market are using generative models. So that's why the webinar is completely focused on generative AI. Okay, there was a time when we used to study about machine learning, deep learning, and NLP and all those things. After the transformer architecture, after the GPTs, after evolution of many other generative AI models, so this has become a hot topic today. Okay, I hope you have understood with the history part, students. You can just comment anything you want. Okay, I hope you have understood about the history part of it. Okay, okay, okay. So we will have just 5-10 minutes of discussion at the end of the webinar. Okay, if you have any question, you can post it in your comment section later. Okay. So now, too much of history, right? We will not do history much. We will move on to the next topic because I have to cover many things in today's webinar. Okay. So coming to the slide, here there are some kind of little bit more information on this. Let us not deep dive into it. Okay, now this is a very important story. Okay, when I talk about transformers, okay, you have to understand how transformers works, how ChatGPT is able to generate such a beautiful text. Okay, you give whatever it is able to generate text, it is able to generate code. It can help you to write your reports also, it can help you to write your assignments also, like how it is able to do. Have you ever imagined how ChatGPT is able to generate such a beautiful content? Not just ChatGPT, it may be any LLM model as such. Okay, so there is a architecture. Okay, we have something called as encoder architecture and decoder. Okay, this is what transformer is. Okay, transformer is a architecture which is helping LLM models to generate new content. Okay, I will explain you in the notebook how exactly it works. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so LLM exactly works on the architecture of transformer. Okay, first now I will use black screen itself, like white screen, so that I can draw you and make you understand. Okay, so as I told you in an initial lecture, let me draw a box here. Okay, you have something called as magic box. This is your magic box. Okay, so this is a magic box. So what you do, basically you supply some information here. Okay, I like what is machine learning. Okay, so I will ask what is machine learning. Okay, so this entire text goes into the box, magic box. Okay, then it predicts the next word, it predicts next word. Okay, how it predicts, machine learning is, okay, dash. Okay, so another example I'll tell. Okay, it is able to predict is science. Okay, so this science comes back again, feeds into the magic box, again it generates the next one. Okay, is the science where. Okay, this where comes inside the magic box, again it predicts the new word. Okay, so basically it is predicting the new word. Now exactly let me see how it is able to predict the new word. I'll take one more example. Okay, you have a model, as I told you, magic box. Let me draw my magic box once again. Okay, so I'll ask a question to this magic box. Paris, or else let's not take Paris. Bangalore is a city in dash. Okay, so what happens basically when this text gets into this magic box? Okay, magic box will give certain recommendations on it or certain suggestions. Okay, it will give, Karnataka. Okay, it will give Karnataka. Then Bangalore is a city, town, it gives city. Okay, then ice cream, cake. Okay, many things. Okay, so after that now you have something called as probability. It is 50% probable. This is, 20, 42% probable. Okay, then 30%, then 20%. Okay, so the probability keeps on decreasing. So because of this now, which highest probability, the next word is generated. Okay, city in Karnataka. Then if you ask more information, this text as a whole gets fed back into the LLM model and it will generate the next content. Okay, so basically this transformer helps the text to predict the next word. Okay, transformer basically helps the text to predict the next word. So when it is predicting the next word, it gives the probability for different scale. Okay, gives the probability, and based on that it predicts the next word. So now let me show you the entire, I will just take out the transformer architecture and I will explain you. Okay, how exactly it happens. So let me tell you the steps. Okay, let us focus upon step. Okay, step one. So when you pass a text, okay, cat sat on the mat. Okay, you are passing something, or what is machine learning, what is generative, anything you pass. Okay, this text is broken into tokens first. Okay, the first process is tokenization. So the text, whatever you are seeing here, okay, it is split and broken into separate individual tokens. Okay, then second, these tokens gets passed through, okay, embeddings. So every word or every token sat on the mat, okay, or what is machine learning. So every text has to go through this embedding process. So, sir, I am not able to understand what embedding. Let me explain you what embedding is, or what vector embedding is. Nothing but embedding is nothing but conversion of text into numbers. As simple as that. Now you can ask me why I have to convert a text into a number. Okay, you should ask me why. So answer is simple, because at last it is a computer. Okay, so computer cannot understand text. Computer can only understand numbers. Okay, so it is highly important you break all these words or tokens into numbers. Okay, so when I talk about GPT now, when I talk about GPTs, okay, have something called as 102 for dimensions. Okay, vectors. So basically for every word, right, for every word, okay, it gives something called as a number, okay, based on some 124 features. Okay, for example, features may be animal, then kitty, okay, then you can tell cat to be small. Okay, so these may be 124 features are there, and based on that it gives a number zero point 0.9, okay, 0.3, 0.2, minus this thing. So every word has to go through this process. So this gets converting into embeddings. Okay, it is nothing but a number. Okay, so once this tokens gets into embeddings, okay, it is passed through something called as attention mechanism. Okay, let me explain you what attention mechanism is. See, cat sat on the mat. Okay, so in the transformer paper na, they explain something called as attention mechanism. So basically, you can see cat and sat. Okay, it is almost related to each other on the mat. Okay, so mat, cat, sat. Okay, so based on this attention, these words gets close to each other. They come close to each other. Okay, so if I say 124 feature vector, I cannot draw more than 3 dimension, as you know. Okay, so imagine in the AI world, there are 124 dimensions. Okay, and Gemini uses some 748 dimensions. Okay, so when I talk about cat, so they are placed close to each other. Cat is there. Okay, kitty. Okay, then mat. So this is how the mapping is done. This is what attention is. Okay, then here it may be male, king. Okay, then boy. Okay, these are mapped close to each other. The words which are having similar meaning are always close to each other. Okay, in the 124 dimension space. Okay, imagine 124 dimension space, they are mapped. Because of this, now it is able to understand the relationship between the words. Okay, cat sat on the mat. See, we are humans, we know the meanings, but computer doesn't know the meaning, right? Computer can only understand the closeness, that is vectors, nothing but the coordinates. Okay, basically the coordinates in a 2D plane, or it may be 3 dimension plane. Here I'm talking about 124 dimension plane. Okay, so here basically what happens, so the closer the word, they get close to each other in the meaning. So based on this, now it is able to understand. Okay, so cat and mat has some kind of relationship. Okay, so next, this relationship, these vector embeddings gets updated in the fourth step. Okay, these vector embeddings, what all I have drawn, the tokenization, it has been converted to the number. These numbers get updated based on the attention. Updated gets updated based on attention. okay, gets easily updated based on the attention. Okay, again, because of attention now, this cat and this mat gets close to each other. Okay, so it has to produce properly. Okay, fifth now, last step, these words, these embeddings, what all embeddings it got created, it gets passed through the MLP. Okay, multi-level perceptron is what we say, that is the neural network. Okay, neural network. So these embeddings gets easily passed to MLP, that is neural network. Okay, so you can ask me, does the my model is getting trained? Okay, when I'm putting a chat in a chat gpt, is chat gpt getting trained? Okay, the short answer is yes, the short answer is no also. Okay, I'll explain you. Okay, when chat gpt was trained, okay, it was trained, considering entire internet data was put to the model, and it was trained in such a way, and the model that is there, gpts and all, it already knows weights and biases. You don't have to get trained once again to understand weights and biases. Okay, the words that has been, restructured using attention, now this has to be passed through this mlp. Okay, mlp based on this will predict the next word. Okay, mlp will predict the next word, so based on this, so this process happens very quickly because we are making use of gpus there. If same was the thing, if we had used cpu, it would have taken a lot of time for you to get an answer. Okay, so this process has to happen and used to, get the result out of it. So tomorrow, if you want to train your own llm, I'll tell you that also. If you want to train your own LLM. Okay, first step. So you have to have large text data. Large in the sense large. You can consider entire internet data. Because I often get these questions, like many student asks me, okay, if I tomorrow, if India wants to have its own kind of AI model, what it has to do? Okay, first thing is like you should have the entire data. Okay, but you can ask me, some Chinese people doesn't have access, like like Google and all, they don't have huge internet data. How they were able to build a LLM model? The answer is, okay, by doing scraping, web scraping. By doing web scraping, I could generate or gather a lot of internet data. Okay, this was one thing. Second, this data, okay, what all you have gathered, okay, you have to use a technique called as RLHF. RLHF stands for reinforcement learning with human feedback. Okay, this RLHF. Okay, and of course, obviously all these steps takes part in here itself, RLHF. Okay, these embeddings, everything. Okay, you train a model basically, and of course you need a very good computation power, you need huge gpus infrastructure. Okay, so if you had used RNN, okay, you have a famous algorithm in deep learning, you must have heard of RNN. RNN can only predict one word at a time. Okay, at a time, it it forgets the memory. Okay, if you want to do some kind of translation also using RNN, so RNN has a forgetting problem. So in order to overcome this problem, you got something called as LSTM. LSTM could remember like chunk of data, sentence and all. Okay, it was able to remember, and it used to predict. But after the generative AI, after the transformer architecture can remember based on your text, it can generate answers. Okay, if you have used ChatGPT, okay, you have a option of saving your data, like whatever it gets stored there itself. And tomorrow morning, if you ask like the continuation part of it, it would have given you the same steps or different results as such. Okay, or else based on the previous prompts itself. So ChatGPT has a long-term memory. Okay, it has a very long-term memory because of, the answer is getting stored in the knowledge base or the memory database. Okay, so this is how you can train your own LLM. Okay, until here you have any doubts, students? Okay, take it. Yeah, fine. So coming to the next part, here. Oh, okay. So generative AI, like what is the real today's world scenario when it comes to generative AI? Okay. So how the world is getting impacted? Okay. Launched in 2022 properly. Okay. Conversational AI with support over 80 language it was able to support. Then OpenAI technology integrated. It got integrated with different Microsoft application. Okay, then slowly companies like JP Morgan, okay, McKinsey, these people started to leverage the power of AI. Okay. I don't want to explain much about it. Obviously, yes. So when it comes to challenges, when it comes to considerations, okay, like it is generally said whatever data we are giving to ChatGPT is storing it in the memory. So because of these features, our data could be easily misused. Okay, so these are some kind of ethical issues, like compliance issues. Many issues are there with usage of ChatGPT. So or else some LLM model. So it is always suggested to use it wisely. Okay, not to give entire data of yours. So coming to, you have a concept something called as prompt engineering and RAG. Okay, you have to understand what exactly it is. You have to understand what exactly it is. Okay, okay. So you've been hearing what RAG is. Okay, RAG stands for retrieval augmented generation. Okay, RAG stands for retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so retrieval augmented generation, so what it is exactly? Okay, if you go to ChatGPT, okay, I'll just open ChatGPT here. If I ask what is the electricity bill for today's month, sorry. So ChatGPT is not able to answer this question. Okay, it cannot answer my personal questions or it cannot answer my business questions. So in order to overcome this business problem, okay, there's something called as RAG came into picture. It is a part of Gen AI only. Okay, where I am making use of GPTs. I'm training my GPTs on my custom data. Okay, I am giving my data to GPTs and GPTs is able to give me output based on my data. Okay, this is what augmented retrieval augmented generation is RAG. Okay, suppose I'll give you a famous example of RAG. Okay, it is able to give the custom data. Okay, what all data you want your chat GPT to know, what you do, you give the data and you can get the response through this process. Instead of chat GPT giving direct response where it doesn't know about the things, okay, you can use this RAG, something called as RAG. Okay, and you can train your GPT to give the custom answer for this. Okay, so coming to retrieval augmented generation, that just now what I explained. Okay, let me quote some example. Okay, you're using Copilot, right? You have heard of Copilot. Okay, if you go to Canvas, you have something called as Canvas AI. Okay, even Adobe, they have their own AI. So many companies are having something called as AI. Okay, what all models you are using today? Okay, it may be some image generation model or some third party is using something called as model. So if you want to create a flow chart, okay, you can use diagram GPT. Okay, diagram GPT is there. You can use plant UML. Okay, so many tools are there in the market, okay, which is leveraging the power of RAG. Okay, so when you use Copilot or when you use any other platform which has AI powered in it, okay, basically that context, the custom data has been given to GPTs, or it may be other LLM models. So it has understood the concept and it is giving you the output based on the custom data what you have given, what you're supplying, or it is able to give you the output. Suppose if I give you the document which has everything about my company, which has everything about how much electricity bill I got, okay, then what is the expenditure what I'm having. So if I feed this data in the GPT, okay, GPT can give me the answer based on this. Okay, it doesn't say I don't know, please tell me what it is that this and all. No. So using these docs, it may be a PDF format, it may be a document format, or I can use GPT for my own custom data generation. Okay, this is what RAG is called as. Okay, so we have another concept here called as prompt engineering. Okay, so basically what is prompt engineering? Okay, what is prompt engineering? In a short, okay, prompt, okay, you know what is prompt, right? So basically giving exactly what answers you want, okay, what answer you expect from a AI model. Okay, that is what prompt is. Prompt engineering is nothing but, okay, there is a concept in LLM model that is called as LLM hallucination. Okay, there is a concept called as LLM hallucination. Basically, sometimes now, if your LLM model, or if you are using chat gpt, if sometimes it doesn't give accurate answers, it gives some random answer which is not even related to it. Okay, it gives some random, there is no relation at all, such answers it gives. Okay, that is what hallucination is. Sometimes it doesn't know what it is giving itself. Okay, right, when you are addicted to something, or when you're into the certain stage where you don't understand what you're doing. Okay, similarly you have a concept called as LLM hallucination. Okay, so sometimes it is very bad because we expect the right output from the model, but a model is not giving us the right output. Okay, so in order to tackle this problem, you have something called as prompt engineering. Okay, give exact answer what you expect. Okay, you have few short prompts. Okay, like there are certain steps when it comes to prompt engineering. Okay, few short prompts you have. Okay, then text prompts are there, so many prompts are there. You have something called as templates also, prompt templates. Okay, using prompt template you can define exactly what you want. Okay, and it will generate answer based on that itself. It is not going to give you an extra answer, not a less answer. Okay, based on the template what you provide. So based on the template, okay, what you provide, you ask something about Gen AI, and you tell your AI assistant that you generate an answer based on the input context what I am providing you. Okay, don't generate answer something of your own. Okay, this is something called as prompt template, and generating this is called as prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is simple. Okay, generating the prompt based on this. Okay, so this is also famous thing that is going on. You should know prompt engineering. You should exactly know what answers you want. Okay, simply you just don't have to go and tell a chat gpt that oh, tell me what is machine learning, tell me what is deep learning. Okay, I want to build a project, this thing, that. No, that is not the right way. Okay, you should learn that prompting techniques, only then you will be able to generate optimized answers from a LLM model. That is what prompt engineering is basically here. Okay, I hope it is cleared. Hello. Okay. ठीक है. So coming to the next concept. Okay. It's an hour since we started. Okay, and I appreciate your patience. So I explained about prompt engineering, okay, providing the precise, guided way of prompting, okay. Then RAG also I explained, okay. Here I have a diagram of RAG, basically what it says. So I give a knowledge base, that is my document. I'm going to make a chunk of it because I cannot pass entire document to it. So I need to split my document and give the chunks of the document to the embedding model. Basically, yes, it has to be embedded because AI cannot understand text. I'm telling you, embedding is a language of AI. Okay, when I talk about AI, it is embedding, that is what it understands. Okay, this embedding gets stored in the vector databases. Okay, so you have something called as database concept. Okay, there you have ChromaDB, Pinecone. Okay, many vector databases are there. And then when user makes the query, it finds the semantic match between your documents through that embeddings, and it retrieves the information. Okay, that is what retrieval augmented generation is. Okay, so clearly here I feed my knowledge base, my data is been split, it is passed to the embedding models, then this text is getting stored in the vector database. Okay, then when user makes a query, what is my electricity bill? Okay, since I have fed my information in the knowledge base, it is able to understand. Okay, and from here I'm able to retrieve the information, and through prompt I get the response. Okay, this is how RAG works exactly. Okay, so when it comes to prompt engineering, you have zero shot, few shot change. Okay, nothing but getting the desired output. RAG is what we have seen. Okay, so now let us understand. Okay, so we have understood the history of generative AI. Okay, we have seen how transformer works. We have seen the different applications of generative AI, that is RAG, that is prompt engineering. Okay, you have many other things. Okay, now it is not just generative AI. We have something called as agentic AI also. We have something called as MCP, Model Context Protocol. So many things have come in the market. Okay, now the main thing is like career oriented. Now you can ask me, okay, we have understood, okay, we have been known about this in the college days and all those things. Now if I really want to master in AI technology, okay, if really want to master in AI technology, what should be my strategy? Okay, what should be my roadmap? How can I master generative AI, or how can I master entire AI engineering route so that my life is secure tomorrow? Okay, I don't have to worry about AI taking away my job. Okay, so what is the roadmap that I have to follow in order to reach generative AI engineer position? Okay, so give me 2 minutes. Okay, so first thing is like learn a programming language. Okay, very important. You might be feeling like we already know these things. Okay, but understanding a programming language is really important if you want to become a very good generative AI engineer. Okay, first it is always said to start with Python, or you can start with R programming language also. Okay, you should be very good at one programming language, need not to master what all programming languages that are there in the market. Okay, need not to master all these things. Master only one programming language. You can use Python. Okay, it is a beginner friendly programming language where you can understand each and every concept. Second, you have something called as data analytics. As I told you, we are talking about data here. Okay, without data you cannot master anything, or you cannot build a model itself. If you want to build a simple machine learning model, you have to understand about data. You have to get the data, that is data collection. You have to clean the data. You have to process the data. You have to train the data. Then you have to inference, do the model inferencing is what we say. Okay, basically, first it starts with Python programming. Second, it starts with analytics part. Okay, in data analytics, what you do, you collect the data, you clean the data, and you process the data. Okay, and the data will be shared to the data scientist. So work of a data scientist is to build the machine learning models, okay, for the prediction. So whatever data the data analyst guy, provides to the data scientist, he has to take it and process it. So data scientist, what it does, okay, he trains a model and he uses model for inferencing. Okay, so inferencing nothing but prediction. Okay, so to check whether the data, the model that has been trained is able to predict the right things or no. Okay, so this comes in data science. Then comes the machine learning. Okay, where basically we make use of algorithms. As I told you, okay, when I started my session with the history part of generative AI, I explained you like it all started in 1950s. You have this machine learning algorithms and all, okay, random forest, decision tree, logistic regression. Okay, there are many such algorithms. So these algorithms are used basically in the machine learning part. Then you have something called as NLP. NLP stands for natural language processing. Okay. So generative AI understands human language. So NLP will help us to understand the text. Okay. It has its own ways of, if you want to create a summarization model, basically you can make use of NLP. NLP has something called as tokenization, then lamentation, then finding the word to vec. Okay, so many things are there, vectorization, everything. So same advancement has been done for the transformer architecture. Okay, you have to understand the basics of all these things, basics to advance. Then you can get into generative AI models. Okay, before that you have to understand about transformer architecture, how transformers exactly works. Okay, what is the mechanism, how it is able to generate the next word, what is the encoder decoder architecture. Okay, so this is the roadmap. Then once you get into generative AI, okay, what you can do in a simple minute, you can learn some frameworks. Okay, I'll just tell you quote some frameworks. Okay, so GenAI engineering framework. Okay, so you have to learn a framework called as LangChain. You have Haystack. Okay, so you have something called as llama index. So these are the frameworks, okay, which you can use to build your RAG model, or if you want to do prompting and all those things. Okay, these frameworks you have to understand. Okay, not just these frameworks, you have to understand about vector DBs. Okay, suppose if you are learning full stack, it may be Python full stack or Java full stack. There you're using something called as databases. There you study about SQL, MySQL, okay, then Mongo. Okay, many database you study there, but when it comes to Gen AI world, there's nothing called as SQL and all. You have to study about vector databases. Okay, vector databases to store the embeddings. Okay, I told you now the embeddings, the cat sat on the mat. Every token has to be converted through or has to be converted into embeddings. So these embeddings need to be stored in the database called as vector. So if you can ask me what are the names, okay, what are the vector databases that are publicly available? You have Pinecone. Okay, you have something called as Pinecone. Okay, you have ChromaDB. Then you have Superbase. Okay, many things are there. Okay, where you can get your all the embeddings stored into it. Okay, so first you have to understand about Python properly, then get into data analytics, get into data science, okay, get into NLP, okay, then get into GenAI. See, without mastering these things, now you cannot get into generative AI directly. Okay, it becomes very difficult to understand. Some people are like generative AI in 3 days. Okay, master generative AI in 2 weeks. That is not possible. Okay, you have to understand all these theories before, all these fundamentals. Only then you can get into this generative AI, data science, machine learning, NLP, and all those things. Okay, and certain frameworks. Okay, you have this generative AI. Okay, if you want to get into agentic AI, okay, if you want to get into agentic AI, okay, you should know certain other frameworks. Okay, you have first pydantic AI. Okay, so this is one framework. Second, you have crew. So this is basically used for agentic AI or AI agents. So this is what many companies are using nowadays. Okay, these are just the frameworks that you have to learn and get into. Okay. Okay. Until here, you have any doubts before we move to the practical session? Hmm? Okay. If you have, you can comment me. Okay. So now we can move on to the practical part of this. Okay. The practicals. So I would request all of you to have a notebook first. Okay. So today I will teach you how to build your own custom chatbot. Okay, using the power of generative AI. Okay. First, I want you to sign up to Google Colab. You can open Google Colab. So click on New Notebook. So you can just create a file called as custom chatbot. Okay. Okay, so first thing, I request you, okay, to have a Grok API with you, because we are using Grok AI today in our practical to build our own custom chatbot. Okay, so it is essential to have your own API. So what you can do, you can come to Google and just type Grok Cloud. Okay, so you can come to Grok Cloud, click on the first link. Okay, and you can go ahead and create this API key. You will find an option called as API key. Okay, after you sign up. Okay, so here you find this something called as playground. Okay, where you can select different models. Okay, this is a Grok model. So basically Grok is, AI company of X. Okay, here you can take different models. Open source, closed source models are there. Then if you want to create an API key, okay, once you sign up, you get an option called as create API keys. Okay, and based on this, you can make use of it. Okay, you can go ahead and create a API key, and you can use the same API key in today's practical. Okay, so what I would like to say is, like, once you create an API key, come to secrets. Here you will find a key. Okay, once you sign up to Google Collab, you'll find a key here, and you can add a new secrets. Name it as grok, grok underscore API underscore key. Okay, and you can paste your API key here. Okay, paste your API key here. For now, I already have grok API key. I will just enable it. Okay, so this is what you have done. So what I will do, first you have to install certain libraries. So what you have to do, just type pip install, okay, hyphen u q hyphen u langchain and hyphen community langchain, okay, hyphen grok, okay, and run it. So this will pick the latest package from the package manager, and it will get it in your system. Okay, this will ignore the error what you're getting. Okay, you can install the latest package from here. Now you have to import certain kind of packages. Okay, from langchain underscore core dot prompts, import chat prompt template. Okay, so this is the first library you would require. Okay, second is from langchain underscore core dot output parsers, import string output parser. Okay, from langchain underscore grok, import chat grok. Okay, we wait for the output chat grok. So once you install all the packages, okay, now we have to get the key from the secrets. Okay, for this, now google from google dot collab, okay, import user data. Okay, so you have to import this, library, in order to get the secrets into your console. Okay, now what I will do, I'll just pass chat grok. Okay, I'll pass API underscore key. Okay, and I'll pass grok. Okay, before that I need to import the key. Okay, since user data appeared, so what I'll do, I'll use this user data and get my grok key dot get. Okay, just type grok grok underscore API underscore key. Okay, grok. Okay, here now you have to select the model equal to, you can go to the cloud. Okay, and basically you can click on, okay, llama, or else you can use this llama instant model. Okay, you can copy this model entirely. Okay, come back to your Google Colab notebook and you can paste the model here. Okay, you have a parameter called as temperature equal to zero point 0.1. Okay, so I'm going to pass this everything in LLM. Okay, I'm going to run it. Okay, if you are getting tick mark, that means everything was successful. So what I will do, I will output the parser. Okay, I want to, whatever response I get, chat, whatever response I'll get from the LLM model, or it may be, okay, from the API key, I will have to structure it in a proper output format. So for that, I will make use of this string output parser. So use this string output parser. Okay, and put it inside parser and run it. Okay, so now, so what I will do, I will create a function basically. Okay, so like, whenever you're creating a chat app, right, you should remember three important things. So first one is, okay, role. Second one is system. Okay, third is assistant. Okay, role, system, and assistant. Okay, so you have a function called as chat. Okay, you have a function called as chat. Okay, so I'll create my own custom function here. Okay, I'll create my own. So what I will do, chat history. Okay, so I will, give the prompt. See, I will tell the prompt engineering here. So inside the Python list, I'm going to pass a tuple. Okay, so I'll tell the role. Okay, you are the system. You are a helpful chatbot. You are a helpful chatbot. Be concise. Okay, see, I'm giving the prompting here. Okay, this is what prompt engineering is. Be concise and accurate. Okay, so this is what I'm going to give. Okay, then I'm going to print chat history. Right now I don't want. Okay, um, just I'll add a print statement. Okay, langchain langchain chatbot. Okay, type exit to quit. And I'll get into new line character. Okay, now, so what I will do, so I will create a while loop while I'll set it true. Okay, so user underscore input. Okay, I'll take user input, that is me, you. Okay, I'm going to strip it using Python function strip. Okay, so if user underscore input dot lower equal to exit, I'm going to break the loop. Okay, see, if user calls exit, I'm going to break the loop. Else, okay, I'm not write else, not required. I'll append the chat. Okay, what I will do, chat history, I've created a list already. I'm going to append what all I have communicated with with an AI. Okay, I'm going to append, okay, user, what all user and my user input, what all input user input gives, I'm going to append it in the chat history. Okay, now the last step. Okay, so I'm going to use chat prompt template. As I told you, this is a part of prompt engineering. Okay, so here I have a function called as from messages. Okay, I'm going to pass this chat history once again, pass this chat history, and this becomes my prompt. Okay, so I'll create a chain. Okay, there is a chain concept, creating a chain. Okay, so chain equal to, okay, prompt, okay, this pipe symbol, llm, okay, and you have parser. Okay, now I'm going to invoke this. Okay, first I will pass the prompt, then I will give it to llm, okay, this one, then I'm going to send it through the parser. Okay, now I will invoke this chat chain dot invoke. Okay, invoke is the function where I'm going to pass a empty dictionary. So what all data I get, it is going to be passed, and I'm going to collect it in the response. Now chat history, I'm going to append this response also, chat history, okay, dot append assistant. This is assistant, right? What all it is giving to give me a response, I'm going to append this response. Okay, I'm going to, okay, okay. So before this, I am going to print what all the bot is going to tell. Okay, this is my chatbot. I'll use f string, and I'll pass this response and backslash n. I want in the next line. Okay, I'm going to pass the response. Okay, I'm going to print into 80. Okay, this is basically, it will separate the response given by user and response given by AI. Okay, okay, I think I'm going to print chat history also. Let us see, print chat. No, that is not required. Okay, I think that would be enough. Okay, so I've created a function basically chat, okay, where user input is given. Okay, I am passing it through the message, you are a helpful assistant. Okay, be concise and accurate, and it is going to take the user response, and it is going to print the response as well. So what I will do, I will see the call this function. Okay, see, it is asking me, okay, langchain chatbot, because I have defined it here, langchain chatbot exists. Hi. Okay, see, my bot is giving me reply. How can I assist you? You can ask anything. What is generative AI? See, generative AI refers to the type of artificial intelligence that can create new original text such as music text. Okay, it can do image generation, music generation, video, this thing, that thing. Okay, copyright and all those things. How can I become an expert in it? See, if you want to become an expert, now you should know all these things. GAN algorithms, then various encoders, decoders. Okay, auto encoders are there. Then some deep learning frameworks, okay, keras, okay, deep learning, okay. So this is what my custom chatbot is giving. Okay, can you see I'm running it in the collab, Google Colab? Okay, this is the custom chatbot what it is giving. If I push exit now, the loop will stop and the process gets over. Okay, so this is a simple way in which you can build your own custom chatbot. Okay, I have not, I don't think so I've used more than 20 lines of code here. With just less line of code, you can create your own custom chatbot. Okay, and tomorrow you can integrate this custom chatbot with your front end also, where you can simply fool that you have created your own version of chat gpt, something like this. Okay, so this was a simple practical in today's webinar where you understood, okay, what is the history of LLM, okay, how AI evolved, then you saw the transformer architecture, how it is able to generate the new content, okay, then we understood about RAG, okay, how retrieval augmented generation is. Then you saw prompt engineering, okay, how you can create a desired output from prompt engineering. Okay, later on we saw something called as how we can create our own custom chatbot. Okay, we saw the roadmap also. To suppose tomorrow if I want to become a generative AI engineer, what all skills I need to have. So we saw the roadmap also in this. Okay, so until here you have any doubts? Okay, you can just text like put it in the comment or you put it in the chat section. Okay, do you have any doubts until here? Okay, let us take a doubt clearing session now. Okay, you can please go ahead and ask me if you have any doubt. So this session will be completely recorded. Okay, some viewers were able to, they face some issues while logging in, so that's why they were not able to log in. Okay, so I'm creating this entire recorded session, and I'm going to give this recorded session so that you can understand everything clearly and you can go through it once again. Let me check what is the technical issues we happened that happened in the backend. Okay, that error will be resolved soon. Okay, so coming at the last part of this entire webinar. Okay, see, I explained about the practicals also. Okay, and I know that generative AI is very much important in today's world. No matter you take any kind of discipline, okay, there is no discipline where AI is not integrated. Okay, so coming to this, okay, since we are having an edtech, we are into techmia edtech. Okay, so here we are helping the students to bridge the gap what they have in the skills and help them to upskill themselves and place them in the IT field. Okay, so right now when we are working in a real time product and all, our managers, it may be, or it may be we are something, it may be in the project development, or it may be in a service development. So we have been asked to use AI. Okay, it may be like we are using AI nowadays. Now nobody is doing coding at all. Okay, there was a time where we used to do coding and all those stuff before, but now the scenario has completely changed. Okay, no more we are doing coding. Coding is like almost, I don't know, after certain years it will be there or no, because what all softwares we are building, it is almost AI that is helping us. Okay, and using chat gpt isn't just enough. You have to know how to exactly use AI properly. Okay, if you don't have an idea about a software, you cannot you, or you cannot leverage AI to certain extent. So we have something called as offer. Okay, and it will be applicable in the webinar only. So as I explained the roadmap, okay, if you want to become a generative AI engineer, or if you want to become an AI engineer, you have to go through the certain steps. Okay, you have to understand Python, you have to understand data science, data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, okay, auto entry code. Just now I asked AI, it gave me a hell lot of things. Okay, if you are not able to make it by your own, we are there to help you out. Okay, so we have a very good offer in today's webinar, okay, where we are training students, okay, in generative AI, especially in 6 weeks. Okay, so basically, what all the benefits that you are going to get in this entire session? So first thing is live training will be there because we have our own pace LMS, okay, where you can come and you can learn everything. Okay, recorded videos will be there. We will be providing entire note setup. Okay, everything would be there. Okay, so you will be getting live training. Second, you will be having recorded modules also. Okay, third, most important things, you will be getting hands on the real time project. See, Techmia is a group, Techmia Solutions is a company. Okay, so we are also into industrial development. Okay, we build our own softwares, we build ERP systems, we build CRM systems, we are using ML ops in our day to day pipelines. Okay, we are outsourcing also. So what all industry projects we get, we transfer the projects to the students, so that students can get a better hands on with those and will help them to clear the interview and help them sustain longer in the IT field. Okay, so this one offer is also included. Third is like portfolio building, of course, yes. So when it comes to having own generative AI, it may be any kind of application. Okay, you have to build your portfolio also, because if you don't showcase what you are in this world, okay, it is very difficult for you to get into those things. Definitely, yes. Internship support, since we have a company, our company is also registered with the VTU. So we have an internship support also with this, and certifications will be there. Job preparation trainings will also be given. Okay, community access. Since we have an LMS where many learners are there, many learners can share their views or get their doubts cleared in the community access. So we provide that access as well. So dedicatively, we have a day, that is Saturday, where we keep doubt clearing support. So if you have any issues with the, if you have not understood any kind of concepts, there you have a specific thing, that is doubt clearing session, where you can get your doubts cleared easily. Then you have template library, okay, resume building and LinkedIn profile optimization and GitHub optimization is also included. So right now in the market, generative AI course is very costly and very few. I mean, I don't think so any institute is offering generative AI in Bangalore as such. Okay, we are the first pioneers here who are offering entire generative AI, agentic AI, MCP, and prompt engineering and all those things to the industry level. Okay, because we have, that is our day-to-day task. We have learned, we have understood the concept. Okay, we have understood how entire AI chain works and all. So this is what we have already done. So we have a very good offer in this webinar. So the course that is around, if you keep on adding the course, okay, it is around, it crosses lakhs. So we have this course that is offered for 1,999. Okay, so this is only for the limited students, and this is only for the students who are attending the webinar. Okay, so we have students here, okay, who have purchased this course for 45K. But since we have exclusively launched this course in the webinar, entirely, see, if you go to the market and if you want to learn data analytics, data science, machine learning and all, they will cost you 30K. Okay, for ML ops and deep learning, 30K. For NLP and transformer, 30K. So almost it crosses a lakh. So we are offering this entire generative AI course, which will include all these three things, okay, in 19999. Okay, this is only a limited offer, and it is only valid for just 2 days. That's it. Okay, students who are registering later will have to pay 45K if they want to avail this program, entire support program. Okay, so this is a reminder. Okay, so there is another offer, like you can just register yourself, you can scan this QR code and you can just pay 200 and you can register for this course. Because upcoming, if you just book your seat, okay, we will later on, you can, you have an EMI options also available for that. Okay, you can pay in installments as well. So these options are also there with us. So this is a QR code, you can start, you can, you can enroll. Okay, you can pay 200 and you can enroll and you can pay the fees later on. Okay, this is entire 6 months bootcamp course where you'll be getting industry oriented training. Okay, you will be getting access to LMS, you will be getting access to all the recorded videos. All industrial projects are also included in this. Okay, so I will be completely hosting this complete webinar. okay, where you can get into these things, okay, you can understand what, and we are the ones who are going to train you out, and we will make sure that your skills are enhanced, okay, without any problem. And if you face any problem, we are definitely there to help you out with that, okay. So you can consider having this, taking this course, because it is going to help you, okay. So right now I will say AI is required for whom? Okay, so there are three people who actually have to get into these things. So one is like who understands AI is important in tomorrow's industry, who understands AI is going to help them to increase their productivity, and third one is like who can understand that AI is going to take away the job, but you will be getting upskilled in such a way that AI cannot touch you out, because as I told you, okay, AI is not going to replace the job. AI is going to replace the tasks. Okay, a guy who is performing better using AI will definitely replace a guy who is using the traditional approach itself. Okay, this webinar, this particular course is only for those, okay, who understands the seriousness of AI and wants to get into industry, okay, not for those, okay, who like who have other commitments and all. It is only for those who want to get into industry using the power of AI, okay. With this I close this session, okay. This session will be completely recorded, and for the viewers, okay, for the students who participated in this entire webinar, will be given a participation certificate, okay, or it will be received through your emails itself, okay. I'll be sharing you the Google form link where you can just enter your name and email, and it will be automatically shared to you, okay. If you have any doubts, I'll just take 2 minutes of time, and if you have any doubts or if you want to ask anything about it, you can ask me, or else we will wind up this entire webinar, okay. Okay, thank you, students, for spending your valuable time in this entire webinar. I wish you best of luck. Okay, in the upcoming days, we are planning for more and more webinar on better topics. Okay, which will definitely help you or get many more insights about an AI and IT field. Okay, you can stay tuned with us. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.